Hi friends, welcome to Spoonful. My name is Lauren, and this week is the last full week of the Pantry Challenge for January 2026. This week we got into using our hands quite a bit. I was pulling things from the freezer in the pantry that involved chopping, mixing, hand rolling. I was trying my best to use up a couple items that I found in the back of my cabinet. We had started this week with an ice storm that covered everything in ice. So I prepped all weekend long for different things to eat and lessen our workload. But as the week went along, I knew I needed to get in and get some warm, cozy food, especially since my son kept going outside in that frigid cold to play. So come along and see exactly what we started with this week. I'm about to sit down and make some dumplings and add a cabbage, but I figured I'll show you guys this cabbage. This is what happens. This cabbage has 1, 2, 3, 4 outer leaves that I just peeled back that are yellowed, but underneath is a perfectly good cabbage. It has been kept in cold storage. If you have outdoor storage, this will be perfect. In our case, I kept it in the refrigerator and it's perfect. Look at that, guys. So I'm going to get some of this chopped up, add it to my ground pork and green onions that are in there. I'm going to finish seasoning it up. Right now it's just parsley and salt in there. I'll add some sesame oil, garlic, and ground ginger. Fresh. I do have fresh. I could add fresh ginger. And then I have some gluten-free wraps. These are pretty much quarter wraps. And then I have some dumplings, and I'll be making some gyoza. I think I officially hit the time in winter where I'm craving all of my spring summer foods. Foods that is mostly enjoyed in such a short spring season. I wanted to have a strawberry smoothie this week, but it was like 15 degrees, so I decided not to eat that, but I sure enough was craving that. My son even asked, "Can we make some strawberry ice cream?" I'm like, dude, it's so cold outside. And these spring rolls are another example. My husband loves the fact that I figured out how to use the spring rolls and turn them into dumplings or fried egg rolls. It helps when you're gluten free to still have something that resembles the original one. But this is definitely a spring dish. And I make them in the springtime, throw them in the freezer, and we just pull them out whenever we need it. If you are thinking of spring food, summer foods, just know that you are not alone. That I am definitely there as I look outside, experience all that freezing cold weather, shoveling ice and snow. I long to sit around for some spring warm food. We eat our gyoza with sweet chili sauce. This happens to come from Trader Joe's. I picked it up in December for a family event, and I think only one person dipped into it. So it came home to me, and we will use it. I also made like a soy ginger sauce for my husband, so he gets to choose both. He did not eat the chili oil. Matter of fact, my son didn't like it either, and I was the only one that ate the chili sauce. But this is a best way to enjoy this. Tonight's dinner is super easy, tacos, but the part that makes it worth it is cabbage that I went ahead and pickled, homemade salsa made this summer, and pickled onions canned this summer. You gonna eat it all?
Yes.
Okay. So today's lunch was supposed to be really easy. I pulled out some ham that we canned up. December 23. Yay. That's a while ago. And some veggie soup. That was going to be it until my son said, "What? No dumplings?" So I'm still making dumplings. And I'm going to use the gluten-free rice noodles to fry my husband some dumplings. Also, I still have dumpling mix. So I will go ahead and use up all the dumpling mix and maybe freeze some if there's some left over, but I seriously doubt it because everybody's about to smash it. They love it. So we'll still have ham and vegetable soup, but I will also have dumplings. This is Tuesday's lunch. So while my crew is enjoying lunch right now, I'm going to get dinner prepped. We want, at least I do, fried chicken tonight. I do not make it that often, but since we have fresh homemade tallow that I just made, so we just made some fresh tallow and it has been truly, truly helpful to use it, right? And one way we're going to use it is fried chicken. So in my sink is where I like to do this. In my sink, I have a whole chicken. And I'm going to use my knife and I'm going to partition off the chicken. The breast we will not fry. I'll use that as a separate meal. But the drum, the thigh, and the wings on both sides, I'm going to go ahead and get that chopped up, seasoned, and then in a couple hours we will fry it. One of the ways that we have been able to save money is buying whole birds and learning how to cut up a whole bird. When I was talking to my mom about this a couple years ago, she looked at me, she was like, "Whose child are you?" Because she swears up and down she never taught me how to cut up a whole bird, but somehow I knew this. And I knew this prior to like YouTube. So we're not talking about a YouTube video or anything. I'm not quite sure, but nonetheless, it is so much cheaper. This whole entire bird is a large bird. I believe this one is closer to the 6-pound mark. I can't remember, but it's a larger bird, and therefore if it's going to give you larger pieces. And since my son does not care for fried chicken or chicken, I don't have to worry about him begging too much for it. I do have some shrimp out to frost and fry up for him. But between the, 1, 2, 3, 6 pieces, I'll probably get him to take a bite. But I'm going to make sure it's heavy on the sides. But cut up a whole bird and save yourself some money. All right, so there are the 2 large chicken breasts from that bird. And then back here in a 5-quart pot, I have the back of the bird. I'm going to get this simmering and turned into sauce. And then these I'm going to wrap up, probably bake them tomorrow for lunch or dinner or something. What are you doing? So last week we only used a little bit of this when we were stuffing squash. So I'm going to turn the rest of this into stuffing. I have celery, onions, and carrots sauteing in a pot there. I want to show you nothing but the leftover seasoning is inside of there. I think it's a really good seasoning to bring that Thanksgiving like flavor out. So I'm going to go ahead and dump in our chicken broth that we have simmered away. Keeping with this week's theme of eating from the freezer and pantry, we make homemade pesto every single summer, and I freeze it because I make it with the oil, the lemon juice, and the basil, so you cannot can that. We're going to eat that with pasta today and some bacon bits. I have Parmesan cheese in the house, so what I'm going to do is I'm defrosting this jar. I'm going to grate in some Parmesan cheese, salt, pepper to taste. If it wasn't
before I froze it, and then we'll add it to the pasta. This is a quick and easy way to ensure that you get that summer fresh basil without having to dry it, but actually eat it in the fresh state, or as fresh as possible. We love pesto over here. My husband has to refrain from eating as much tomatoes as possible, which is a nightshade, but that doesn't mean he can't eat pesto. So today we will have gluten-free noodles and pesto with bacon. Tonight's dinner should be relatively easy, but I'm so tired. So we're going to try to make it easy. I have shredded some mozzarella. I have some defrosted spinach and a chicken breast, 2 chicken breasts shredded up in there. I'm going to have to add more cheese. But first I'm going to scrape out the last bit of the sour cream and make a mixture.
I kept going back and forth trying to decide if I wanted to call this chicken enchiladas or not. It's very similar to what you find online for chicken enchiladas, but it's not heavy in any kind of Mexican flavors whatsoever. So I went with just a rolled chicken bake. My family didn't care what we called it. They absolutely love anything that is topped with a sauce and cheese. They like casseroles. I particularly don't. But this one was pretty darn good. I purposefully kept mushrooms away from the ones that my son will eat. And then my husband and I enjoy all the ones that had mushrooms on top of it. One thing I did allow myself during this pantry challenge was to buy cheese directly from the farmer. We'll buy a pound or two each month, and that's just been in rotation for our milk share for over almost, I think it'll be 2 years in April or May. So we will continue to do that, and it keeps raw, healthy meat and cheese in our diet. So that's what the block that's in my hand there. I'm doing a fine grate of mozzarella, and then I'll finish it off with a fine grate of a little bit of parm. But it turned out so delicious. Let me show you what we have. Here you go, folks. This is our dinner. It was so delicious. I think I had maybe 1 or 2 wraps left, and then my husband certainly finished it off before he went to bed that night.
Good morning, guys. It's early in the morning. I'm the only one awake, and I'm going to go ahead and cut up some apples. So I found the 3 softest apples that's in the bunch, took the skins off and went ahead and sliced them as thin as I could. I think it's 4 apples in here. I cut off any bad spots. These are the apples that we picked back in October, y'all. We are almost into February and I still have fresh apples, but I plan on using a lot of them up because they're starting to go soft. But these are so crisp. Heard a snap? Okay, so the next part of this recipe is to take gluten-free bacon mix. I have a 1/2 cup here, and we're going to make almost a very loose pancake mix. I have a 1/4 teaspoon of bacon powder in here. Cinnamon, I just do it, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 teaspoon. I shook it in. And a 1/2 tablespoon of sugar. And I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of melted butter and 1/2 cup of milk. All right, so I poured it right on top. You can give it a little shimmy and shake to get the mixture to go down between the sauteed apples, but I'm just going to leave it on top because as it bakes, it will kind of collide it with, see, it went down anyway. So it'll kind of collide with the apples. And yeah, so let's get this in the oven now. All right, fresh out the oven, I put some butter that was mixed with cinnamon on top to help brown it. And now I'm going to scoop it out and we're going to eat it with sausage and oranges.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So Thursday night's dinner is one of the family's favorite Japanese curry. Normally it's made with potatoes. We have a white sweet potato sauteing with onions right now. You would typically add carrots, but since my carrots have been canned, I'm gonna add them at the end so they don't turn into mush. All right, so there we have it. We're gonna eat it over some rice and enjoy some dinner tonight. Good morning, friends, and welcome to Friday. We are almost at the end of January. Can you believe that? It's like a couple days left. I did an inventory of our deep freezer last night, and I took a look at some of our jars we have on the shelf. And I'm happy to say that we're doing a lot better now than we have in the past. I got some breakfast going. I made cinnamon rolls last week. I made orange rolls. So we ate all the orange rolls, and now we have cinnamon rolls left. So that's in the oven. I have sausage and bacon. Sausage and bacon simmering on the, not simmering, Lord have mercy. He distracted me. Go away, child.
I was asking, is it going to snow tomorrow?
Possibly, yep.
Is it going to snow tonight?
No, I think tomorrow's the day that it might snow. So bacon is going, and then I'm gonna get dinner pulled out. I'm gonna show the inside of my regular freezer. Oh gosh, this is a reusable bag. I loved them at one point, and now I can't stand them for. I only have 2 left. But anyway, let's see what we got back here. Ta-da! And all right, so tonight's dinner is pizza. This is gluten-free pizza from Trader Joe's, and this one is from Aldi. This is the dough. It's frozen, so I'm gonna let it defrost, and then this evening we'll have pepperoni and mozzarella, bacon bits. I do have pesto sauce and homemade tomato grown spaghetti. Pizza sauce. So I knew that those pizza shells were in there from December. It was my goal to make pizza in December, and it did not happen. I don't know why. Life got busy, and I knew they were in there. And then for the past couple of weeks, I totally forgot about it. So that's why doing an inventory check every couple of weeks can save you some money and some time. So I got my coffee, got dinner, defrosting, I have breakfast, cooking, baking, and I'll figure out lunch at another time. But we're starting this Friday off very smoothly. Cheers, guys.
I got this.
I don't know if you need the whole thing. Just half.
Oh.
All right, get a spoon before you pour the rest on. Okay, guys, so we're getting pizza done for the night.
Pizza lover.
And so I grated some cheese from the farmer back there. And I have a helper.
Ooh, Mamma Mia.
We got some pepperoni from the freezer back there too.
It'll be good.
I hope so.
It's a little kick in it.
A little kick in it.
Oh,
we gotta get some mushrooms on it.
No! Oily.
So I'm going to go ahead and get a mixture of Parmesan and what's the other one? Mozzarella on the pizza.
This is gonna be the hair.
All right, Friday night pizza is all done and complete. Let me show you what it looks like. There it is. My husband's is still baking in the oven, but ours is out. And one thing for sure, if you are buying a pizza from Aldi, careful, because there is a jalapeno one, and that's what I accidentally purchased, and I can't stand jalapeno. I like spicy, but the taste of jalapenos and the way they pickle it all the time, I don't like it. So I had to sit there and pick out all the little jalapenos out of this crust, and it's probably still gonna have that aftertaste, but we will sit down and enjoy it because it's Friday night, everybody's tired, and we just want to eat and chill.
Thank you. Oh.
You made it. Good morning, friends. It's Saturday morning. This is the last day of January. Can you believe that?
The time is flying by that fast. I'm actually making some banana bread in my recipe. I like to call it the 1/4 cup recipe because I put in 1/4 cup of everything: oil, yogurt, sugar. What else? I'm pretty sure if you scramble 2 eggs, they'll come out to 1/4 too. So that's in here. And we're going to turn these into muffins with some chocolate chips. Well, for Saturday night's dinner, I'm putting the last touches on the Italian soup, zuppa. Very popular. Everybody has been making it from Olive Garden. It is the last of our Italian sausage that is mild. I do have spicy. And then I got some big chunks in there I needed to cut up. I have white sweet potato in here. And I had a 1/2 cup of corn floating around in the deep freezer. So I threw that in there. I don't think it's traditional. But when I finish bringing that to a boil, I'll add our homegrown spinach that I froze. I will add that at the very, very end because after all, spinach can get slimy and we don't want it slimy. So I'm going to go ahead and keep bringing this soup to a boil. Well, guys, it has been a pleasure to keep sharing with you what we're eating through this week. Going through that pantry in the deep freezer a couple days ago gave me a new perspective on what I would like to focus on for the next 7 days. I'm going to show you the actual items and where they're coming from and the final result of those items. For example, this dinner tonight is a small chunk of corn, a small bag of spinach, both from the freezer, as well as sweet potato from the pantry and Italian sausage from the freezer, and then chicken broth that we just boiled a couple days ago. So I would definitely like to keep sharing that with you guys this week because we are ordering seeds. Yes, it is that time of the year, and when I order seeds, I pay attention to what we have been eating and how we have been eating those items, and that kind of motivates me to plan out this year's summer garden. Just right off the bat this week, we had basil twice in 2 different meals, on pizza and another pasta for lunch. So I know that basil is definitely on the docket for the summer of 2026 to grow in the garden. So stay tuned. We'll share what we are ordering. We'll share also the 2 companies that we're going to order things from. And then we'll share when they come in. But right now, we're going to sit back, let the soup simmer, enjoy dinner with a movie, and bid January goodbye because tomorrow is February. I'll see you guys next week. Take care. Bye-bye.